Tuesday, 2:47 a.m., Terminal B, Miami International Airport. The fluorescent lights hum overhead like angry wasps. Maria's hands shake as she grips her phone, scrolling through family photos one last time. Her sister's wedding, her daughter's first steps, messages from home. The boarding announcement echoes through the empty terminal. Final call for American Airlines Flight 1247 to Los Angeles. She starts to stand. "Ma'am, step over here, please." The CBP officer's voice cuts through her hope like a knife. Her phone slips. Just for 3 seconds. Those 3 seconds will change everything. The officer's eyes lock onto the device in her trembling hands. "I'll need you to unlock that for me." Maria's throat goes dry. Her visa interview is tomorrow morning in Los Angeles. Her entire future depends on this trip. She thinks about her daughter waiting for her, her new job, the apartment she's already paid rent for. Her finger hovers over the unlock button. This moment will haunt her for years. One tiny mistake at the airport can give border agents unlimited access to your most private messages, photos, and contacts, destroying your immigration case before you even know what happened. Moment. There's what 97% of immigrants do wrong. They think cooperation equals safety. They hand over their phone thinking, "I have nothing to hide." They don't realize that everything on your device becomes evidence. Your WhatsApp messages with your lawyer, your private family conversations, your location history, your banking information, even deleted messages can be recovered. But here's what's even worse. They don't just look at your current messages. They download everything. They mirror your entire device. They search through years of data, photos you forgot you had, apps you never use, conversations from years ago, and they don't just look at it once, they keep it forever. Your most private moments become permanent government property. That argument with your spouse last month? Evidence. That joke your friend made that could be misinterpreted? Evidence. That photo from a party where someone had a drink? Evidence. The moment you unlock that phone, you've given them a roadmap to destroy your case, and once it's done, you can never take it back. The data they collect gets shared between agencies. CBP shares with ICE, ICE shares with local police share with federal prosecutors. Your private life becomes a weapon against you, and it all started with 3 seconds of fear. Can you just unlock your phone so we can take a quick look? They make it sound casual. Optional, no big deal. The truth, this is a warrantless search that can destroy your entire case. Most people comply because the officer seems polite and reasonable. They use words like quick and just to minimize the impact, but there's nothing quick about what happens next. They don't just glance at your home screen, they dive deep into your digital life. Your correct move. "I do not consent to any search of my device. I am invoking my right to remain silent." Never explain why, never apologize, never negotiate. The word consent is crucial here. Use it every time. If you don't cooperate, this will take much longer. You'll miss your flight. They create artificial time pressure to force bad decisions. The truth, delayed flights are fixable. Destroyed privacy rights are not. People panic and make permanent mistakes to solve temporary problems. They'll say things like, "This is holding up the line. Everyone else cooperates." You're making this harder than it needs to be, all designed to make you feel guilty for asserting your rights. Your correct move: "I understand you have a job to do. I do not consent to device searches." Stay calm. Missing a flight won't ruin your life. This mistake will book another flight, call your employer, reschedule meetings. All of that is temporary inconvenience. Giving up your privacy rights is permanent damage. We can get a warrant anyway, so you might as well just cooperate now. They want you to believe resistance is futile. The truth, most device searches happen without warrants because people consent. Fear makes people surrender rights they don't have to give up. Getting a warrant takes time. It requires probable cause. It involves judges. Most officers won't bother if you don't consent. They're counting on your fear to do their work for them. Your correct move: "If you have a warrant, please show it to me. Otherwise, I do not consent." Make them follow the law. Don't do their job for them. If they actually have a warrant, they'll show it immediately. If they don't, they'll usually back down. We have the right to search any device at the border. They state this like it's absolute fact. The truth, Border Search Authority has limits, and the law is evolving rapidly. People assume officers always know the law better than they do, but officers aren't lawyers. They often misstate the law, either accidentally or intentionally. Your correct move: "I am exercising my constitutional rights. I do not consent to this search." Never argue about the law, just assert your rights clearly. Don't get into legal debates. You're not there to educate them, you're there to protect yourself. If you have nothing to hide, why won't you cooperate? They turn your privacy into evidence of guilt. The truth, privacy isn't about hiding wrongdoing. It's about human dignity. This is psychological manipulation designed to shame you into compliance. Innocent people have the most to lose from invasive searches. Criminals know how to hide evidence. Law-abiding people don't. Your correct move: "My privacy rights aren't conditional on guilt or innocence. I do not consent." Privacy is a right, not a privilege you earn by proving innocence. This could affect your family's immigration status. They weaponize your love for others against you. The truth, protecting your rights protects your family's future too. They want you to believe that asserting rights creates creates problems, but surrendering rights creates much bigger problems. Your correct move. I am exercising my rights to protect my family. I do not consent to this search. The best way to help your family is to preserve the rights you all share. Every time you surrender your rights, you make it easier for them to take rights from others. Here's what they don't want you to know. The Fourth Amendment protects you from unreasonable searches, even at the border. The First Amendment protects your private communications, including with your attorney. The Fifth Amendment protects your right to remain silent. You don't have to explain anything. These aren't privileges they grant you. These are rights you were born with. The Constitution doesn't stop working at the airport. But here's the deeper truth they really don't want you to know. Recent court cases are strengthening digital privacy rights. The Supreme Court in Riley v. California said phones contain the privacies of life. Federal courts are increasingly requiring warrants for device searches. Even border searches are facing new constitutional scrutiny. Your phone is different from your luggage. A suitcase contains physical objects you chose to bring. Your phone contains your entire digital life spanning years. Courts are recognizing this difference. Attorney-client privilege doesn't disappear at the border. If you have communications with your immigration lawyer on your phone, those are protected. Searching your device could violate your Sixth Amendment right to counsel. The government's own policies admit the limits. CBP's own manual acknowledges constitutional restrictions. They're supposed to have reasonable suspicion for extended searches. They're supposed to avoid privileged communications. When they pressure you to consent, they're admitting they don't have sufficient legal authority. International law also protects your privacy. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights protects privacy. The International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, which the U.S. has ratified, protects against arbitrary interference with privacy. Your rights aren't just American rights, they're human rights. Courts across the country are recognizing that digital devices contain the most intimate details of our lives. Your phone isn't just property, it's an extension of your mind, and your mind is constitutionally protected. The law is on your side. Use it. Keep your phone locked and powered off before any border interaction. Don't give them visual cues about your device activity. A powered-off phone shows you're being intentional about privacy. Say this exact sentence: I do not consent to any search of my person or property. Use the word consent specifically. It has legal significance. Say it clearly and calmly. Don't mumble or whisper. Immediately add, I am invoking my right to remain silent and my right to an attorney. This triggers additional constitutional protections. Once you invoke these rights, questioning should stop. Never unlock your device, no matter what they threaten. Your passcode and biometrics are the keys to your digital life. Don't give them away under any circumstances. Do not answer questions about your phone, apps, or digital activities. Questions about technology are still questions. Your right to remain silent covers all questions. If they claim emergency or urgency, repeat, I do not consent to this search. Emergencies require specific legal standards. Don't let them manufacture urgency to bypass your rights. Document everything. Remember names, badge numbers, exact words. Write it down as soon as possible after the encounter. Memory fades, but documentation lasts. Contact an immigration attorney immediately after the encounter ends. Don't wait. Don't assume everything is fine. Early legal intervention can prevent bigger problems. Never sign anything without reading it completely and understanding it. They may try to get you to sign consent forms. Read every word. Ask for copies. If they detain your device, get a detailed receipt. Know exactly what they took and when you can get it back. Document the condition of your device when returned. Change all your passwords after any device seizure. Assume they've accessed everything. Protect your ongoing privacy. Report violations to civil rights organizations. Your experience can help protect others. Document abuse to create accountability. Remember, your job isn't to make their job easier. Your job is to protect your rights and your future. Every word you say can be used against you, but every right you assert protects you. Thursday, 6:15 p.m., Interstate 95, Border Patrol checkpoint. The line of cars stretches for miles. David checks his mirrors nervously. His work visa expires next month. His phone buzzes. A text from his immigration attorney about his renewal case. The agent approaches his window. Citizenship? Legal permanent resident, David replies, handing over his green card. The agent studies the card for longer than necessary. Step out of the vehicle, please. Bring your phone. David's heart races. He thinks about his family, his job, his future. He reaches for his phone to unlock it. Stop. This is the moment that determines everything. David has the same constitutional rights here as at the airport. The checkpoint doesn't eliminate the Fourth Amendment. The correct response: I do not consent to any search of my device or vehicle. Even if they detain him longer, even if they call for backup, even if they threaten complications, his rights don't disappear because he's scared. The law protects the terrified just as much as the confident. But let's see what happens when David makes the wrong choice. David unlocks his phone and hands it over. The agent scrolls through messages, photos, apps, finds texts about his job concerns, finds photos from a friend's birthday party, finds his search history about visa renewals, finds messages to his attorney discussing strategy. 20 minutes later, David gets his phone back. He thinks everything is fine. He drives home. 3 weeks later, ICE agents show up at his workplace. They know his schedule because it was in his calendar. They know his address because it was in his GPS. They know about his visa concerns because of his texts. They use his own words against him in immigration court. That 3-second decision at the checkpoint destroyed his case. This happens every single day. Monday, 8:30 a.m., construction site, Phoenix, Arizona. Carlos is installing drywall when he hears the commotion. ICE agents are checking everyone's documentation. His phone is in his back pocket, unlocked, showing WhatsApp messages from his family. Documentation, please. Carlos shows his work permit. What's on your phone? Carlos freezes. His phone shows messages about his asylum case, photos of the threats he received back home, communication with his attorney, location data showing where he's been. This is the most dangerous moment. In workplace raids, phones become weapons against entire families. They don't just target the person they're questioning. They use phone data to find others. Contact lists become target lists. The correct response: I do not consent to any search of my device. I am invoking my right to remain silent, even in workplace raids, even when others are watching, even when you're scared. Your rights don't disappear at work. Saturday, 10:45 p.m., rural highway, Texas. Anna is driving home from her nursing job when she sees the red and blue lights. The state trooper approaches. License and registration. Anna hands them over with shaking hands. Are you here legally? Yes, sir. I have my green card. Step out of the vehicle. Bring your purse and phone. Anna's phone contains photos of her daughter's citizenship ceremony, messages with her immigration attorney about her naturalization application, banking information showing her savings for the application fees. The trap. State police often work with federal immigration enforcement. Your phone data can trigger an immigration investigation. The protection. I do not consent to any search of my device or vehicle. Tuesday, 2:00 p.m., suburban home, California. USCIS officers arrive for Roberto's marriage interview. We need to see evidence of your genuine relationship. Roberto and his wife show photos, joint bank statements, lease agreements. Can we see the photos on your phones? Roberto's phone contains private messages between him and his wife, intimate conversations that prove their relationship, but it also contains messages about their occasional arguments, his search history about marriage counseling, photos from times they spent apart due to work. The trap. Even genuine evidence can be misinterpreted. Private relationship details can be taken out of context. The protection. We'll provide printed photos. I do not consent to device searches. They don't just use legal pressure, they use psychological warfare. They separate you from family members, interview you alone, make you feel helpless and vulnerable. Uniforms, badges, official buildings, designed to make you feel small and powerless. Artificial urgency to force quick decisions. We need to resolve this now. Honest people don't hide things. If you're not guilty, prove it. Vague threats about consequences. This could go much worse for you. I'm trying to help you. Work with me here. Recognize these tactics. They're not legal arguments. They're manipulation. Your response remains the same. I do not consent to this search. I know this is scary. I know you're tired of feeling powerless. I know you've been taught that keeping your head down and saying nothing is the safest path, but silence about your rights isn't safety, it's surrender. You came to this country seeking opportunity and freedom. Those freedoms include the right to privacy, the right to dignity, the right to be treated like a human being, not a suspect. Your immigration status doesn't make you less deserving of constitutional protection. You belong here, your rights matter, your privacy matters, your family matters, and you have more power than they want you to believe. But here's what I really want you to understand. Every time you surrender your rights, you make it easier for them to take rights from the next person. Every time you assert your rights with quiet dignity, you protect not just yourself, but every immigrant who comes after you. Your courage creates precedent. Your strength becomes someone else's shield. You are part of a long tradition of people who refuse to accept less than their full dignity. The civil rights activists who faced police dogs, the suffragettes who faced prison, the workers who faced company thugs, they all understood that rights not exercised are rights lost. Your phone contains your life. Photos of your children's first steps, messages from family back home, evidence of your hopes and dreams, your fears and vulnerabilities, your most private thoughts. That's not data. That's your humanity, and your humanity deserves protection. You're not just protecting yourself, you're protecting your children, you're protecting your community, you're protecting the Constitution itself. Every person who stands up for their rights makes it a little bit easier for the next person to do the same. You are not alone in this. Millions of immigrants face these same challenges. Thousands of attorneys are fighting for your rights in courts across the country. Civil rights organizations are documenting violations. Activists are changing laws. You're not just one person against the system, you're part of a movement for justice. We're all in this together. Your story matters, your experience matters, your rights matter. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. If this information could protect someone you love, please share it. Your mother who's traveling to visit you next month, your brother who drives through checkpoints for work, your neighbor who's applying for citizenship, your friend who carries her whole life on her phone, your cousin who just got his work visa, your co-worker who's afraid of traffic stops. Don't let them learn this lesson the hard way. 3 seconds of knowledge can prevent years of consequences. Share this before they need it, because when that moment comes, it'll be too late to learn. Send this to your family group chat, post it in your community forums, email it to friends who travel, print copies for people who don't use social media. Make sure everyone in your community knows their rights. One person protected is one family saved. One family saved is one community strengthened. This information doesn't expire. These rights don't change with elections. This knowledge doesn't become obsolete. Share it today. Share it tomorrow. Share it until everyone knows. Knowledge is the only protection that can't be taken away. Knowledge is power. Rights without knowledge are just words on paper, but rights with knowledge become shields that protect what matters most. The law is complex, but your response is simple. I do not consent to any search of my device. The pressure is intense, but your rights are stronger. The Constitution has survived wars, depressions, and social upheavals. It will protect you too. The stakes are high, but you are not helpless. Every person who exercises their rights makes the Constitution stronger. Remember these 3 things. Your rights exist whether or not you know about them. Your rights are stronger when you exercise them. Your courage protecting your rights protects everyone's rights. Stay informed, stay protected, stay strong. Your constitutional rights are waiting for you to claim them. The next time someone demands access to your digital life, you'll be ready. The next time someone tries to pressure you into surrendering your privacy, you'll know what to do. The next time someone tells you that immigrants don't have rights, you'll know they're wrong. You have power. You have rights. You have dignity. Use them. This is Immigration Insider, keeping you informed, protected, and empowered.